This is Norma. She's a local crime beat reporter for a digital outlet and radio station in Veracruz. It's one of the most violent states in Mexico, serving as a key location for criminal groups engaged in both drug and human trafficking. We're travelling with her as she heads out to cover a crime scene.
¿Se siente miedo?
No, I'm not scared.
Veracruz is also the deadliest Mexican state for journalists. 31 have been killed here in the past decade.
¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes, amigos. Hace algunos minutos, el hallazgo de una persona ahogada.
As elsewhere in Mexico, getting threats for simply doing the job is normal. Since the government launched a so-called war against cartels and criminal organisations in 2006, killings of reporters have gone up as both crime and corruption have become more and more entrenched. At least 13 journalists have been killed in Mexico this year, more than the whole of 2021. In May, Norma got this call after she reported on a police operation. She had to flee the town. Local authorities couldn't protect her. Now she's back, working, but in fear for her life. But in Mexico, the threats come not just from the country's rampant gangs.
And wherever there is organized crime, there is collusion with local authorities, mostly on the municipal level, but also on the state level. And especially outside the major metropolitan areas in Mexico, journalists are often part of a relatively small community, a small pool of reporters, especially those who cover what they call the Nota Roja in Mexico, which is crime and violence and traffic accidents, who affect the interests of very powerful players in the country.
There's
a clear line dividing us as the international press dropping in here. No international journalist has been killed in more than a decade in Mexico, and the national and especially the local journalists that are covering this day in and day out, they're really the ones that are at risk. With organised crime threatening journalists and controlling the flow of news, I asked Norma how it felt, wondering what she could and couldn't report.
como en un puente de cristal.
As if you were on a glass bridge. One false step and you fall.
¿Qué pasaría si publicas todo lo que sepas?
No sé.
I wouldn't be here.
John Holman, Jazeera, Veracruz.